Alrighty, so for the part two of the festival, there are two big things as far as like spending diamonds that I wanted to talk about, and it's mainly the cosmetic sale, which is a really big one. They don't do the cosmetic sale very often. It's like maybe like once or twice a year. So this is a really good opportunity to buy some costumes for characters that you might not normally want to spend the gems on, or if there's characters that you've just been waiting to buy cosmetics for or whatever, this is a really good time to do so. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and we'll do that first, is this new diamonds section sort of sale thing that they've got going on. So normally you can see that there's a timer on this, but all of this stuff is what you can normally buy for diamonds in the game. People don't even go into this part of the shop really. It's not really a good good investment in a lot of ways. But for the next 2 weeks, because of the part two of the festival, they've actually given us a new opportunity to spend diamonds on certain materials in the game, which is actually pretty interesting. I think this is the first time that they've ever done this. Notably, there is legendary seals in here, and they are 5 apiece, and you get 1 per 5 diamonds. So to get a full LR's worth, you would have to spend 500 diamonds to get 100 LR seals, which is kind of crazy. Like that is pretty expensive. I guess if you're just sitting on a ton of diamonds, if you've saved up a lot or whatever, you might be able to do that. I don't really know that that's the best solution, but hey, if you're not doing like the higher difficulties in Heroes Arena or anything like that, it could be more worth your while to just buy them with diamonds, I guess, and not worry about the hassle of Heroes Arena, because honestly, it can be really annoying. So I don't know. I personally don't think I'm going to buy any of this stuff except for this one. 35 SSR pendants is a really good amount. I've been working on level 100 and SA6 on all of my box characters and everything, and this will go a pretty decent ways. I mean, it takes 6 of these to make a UR pendant, unfortunately. So, these are just going to get all turned into UR pendants. But I think it's a decent investment overall. It's kind of weird that you can buy just one of them right here, too. I'm not going to buy that one. I'm not really that worried about it. But, yeah, that's the only one that I actually think goes kind of, far as like your value goes. Because, I mean, SSR pendants are one of those things where there's not a great way to farm SSR pendants. Speaking of which, if you haven't done your village donation event, it is currently active. I think it's under this one actually. So yeah, village donation event is underway on global. You have 2 more days to do that, which I think this is going to go up tomorrow. So if you're seeing this as it comes out, make sure you do that relatively soon if you have gold that you're willing to trade for some pendants and everything. But yeah, I don't know, kind of interesting that they're giving us the option to trade diamonds for some stuff. I guess having those options is always nice in case you do want to do that, but the fact that these are limited time is a little funny. I guess they could make this just like an all-around kind of thing and just like put like maybe a monthly reset on it or something, so that way you can buy them whenever you want to, and then you can sort of refresh them every so often and buy them again whenever you feel like it. But I don't know, some of this stuff is kind of overpriced. Like, I would not pay 100 diamonds to max a character out. I just don't think it's worth it, because, I mean, demons aren't really that hard to do nowadays. Like I said, you can get pendants and stuff like that, but they're not, like, super, they're not farmable, for example. But, yeah, I think that, SSR bundle is pretty much the one that I was looking at the most. As far as the cosmetic sales go, normally I have a specific character that I'm, like, looking into, like buying cosmetics for or something like that. Really, I mean, for me personally, I don't have anybody that I really want to buy cosmetics for specifically. Most notably, the big kicker here is that the new Liz, she just came out, so she is actually not going to be discounted. Any of her cosmetics are not on discount yet. They typically do that for these cosmetic sales. They'll do them during a festival, and then of course, because the newest festival character is like brand new, they don't want to discount those cosmetics right away. So do be aware of that. You can't just buy the Liz cosmetics right now with the discount. The Hawk Pass stuff is obviously not on discount either, because they're Hawk Pass things, but they did bring back a lot of different winter/holiday themed sort of cosmetics from over the years, and there are a couple of other cosmetics that they have that are like kind of like seasonal cosmetics that they've sort of brought back as well. So they have some of these like fantasy costume pieces that are back. They have the summer pieces for the one Escanor and Purgatory Bond, and the one Escanor, not the one Ultimate. But yeah, there's also the Valentine's Day cosmetics for the Green Sariel and Brunhild, which are back. They have the sports costumes for Trader Meliodas and for the Festival Diane. I guess you can see them better if you look at the costume pieces, or like the outfits. But yeah, some of those are back. I would say that most of these costumes are not really going to be worth getting in the main sense that a lot of these characters are a little outdated. Diane still can be somewhat useful, so if you still need cosmetics for her, feel free. Trader Meliodas just got given away for free, so if he's brand new to you and you don't have any of his cosmetics, grabbing some of those could be kind of nice. I don't really use Trader Meliodas that often anymore. He's kind of gotten to the point where he's a little bit power crept, but who knows? Maybe he'll get a relic in the near future and he'll become more usable, so investing into him might not be a terrible decision. I typically try to invest into all of my festival characters. The only festival character that I'd not invest into, like as soon as he came out, was the small winged king, the blue like debuff king, and even then I already have 5 cosmetics in each of the slots. I could potentially buy headpieces for him and max those out instead of wasting a ton of materials on some SSR pieces that I still have, but I never use that character anyway, so it's not even really worth the investment, so I'm not even going to bother with it. Couple of these costumes could be okay if you use Brunhild, if you use Green Sariel. I think Green Sariel can be more or less used for like a Link character, so having that character invested into could be kind of nice because the graces do go a long ways. Lost Vein has obviously got an LR at the moment. Green Escanor obviously has an LR at the moment. So you could invest into those characters if you maybe are newer to the game, you didn't invest into them back in the day, or whatever the case may be. I do actually kind of like this outfit. I love the whole like asymmetrical sort of, you know, thing that he's got going on here. He's got one armored sort of arm and then the other one's regular. I think that's really, really cool looking, to be honest. But yeah, I guess it just depends. There are 2 Escanors that share cosmetics, so if you have the green one and the red one, more than likely you already have a decent amount of costume pieces. But if there's anything that you're missing specifically, like I said, there are obviously some different weapons and stuff. There's the ice one as well, so you could grab this ice axe for him if you need a weapon, and then the other one is for the other one that we were just looking at, so you could grab that too if you're just missing anything in that regard. So a lot of these other characters, to be honest, are pretty old, pretty outdated. Like I bought this one way back in the day just because I think it looks cool, but realistically, none of these Dianes are super useful. Like maybe the green one can be okay from time to time, but I just liked the costume. That is another factor, of course. If you just like any of these costumes, like some of them are kind of cool. They're kind of limited. They don't come back that often. So if you want to grab any of these, you know, feel free to do so because they, like I said, they don't come back too often. But either way, those are like, that would be my #1 recommendation. Just investing into any sort of festival characters that you haven't already invested into. Actually, I'm kind of interested to see our Hell's cosmetics on discount. I don't know if I can even see because I already own them all. It doesn't look like they are, because I think it would still show sale, maybe? I could be wrong on that, but I guess let me go to weapons. Will it say sale if it's something I already owned? I think it does, yeah. So it looks like the Hell cosmetics aren't on sale either. She's the newest festival character that's not Elizabeth, so it seems like she's not on sale, but is Bon on sale? Because Bon, although is not a lot of people's favorite character, they are on sale. He is a character that is actually pretty useful in certain things. Like I get a lot of use out of him out of Heroes Arena, which is great. So if you're wanting to try to push for like higher difficulties and stuff in Heroes Arena, he's a really nice character to have, just because of like the damage reduction on the field, and he just does a lot of like burst damage and stuff, which is great. So yeah, there are obviously some new cosmetics that they brought back. These ones right here, or not brought back, but that they've released with the new Elizabeth and the new, or the Tristan, not new, but realistically, I think Tristan might not already have full cosmetics as far as I know. He might actually be missing something. He has, okay, so he's technically missing a headpiece that I could get. Am I going to buy this for that? Definitely not. Tristan is a character that I don't really get a whole lot of use out of. I don't even really like the fact that he's like a very defensive backliner. Maybe in the future, if he gets like tweaked or whatever with a holy relic or something and he becomes more useful, I'll maybe look into investing into him more, but Tristan is not even like one of my go-to characters for the Goddess team anyway, whereas with this new Elizabeth, on the other hand, she actually has already got full cosmetics at this point. So even though they weren't on discount or anything, the cosmetics that she launched with, if you bought all of those, which I guess if you're free to play and you weren't spending real money on the game, you should be able to buy them with gems this week. They actually gave us this free weapon for her. This one is specifically only for her, but that's a free UR weapon that they gave out. That actually made her have 5 weapons. And then with the new cosmetic set, she actually has 6 in all categories at the very least. So you don't even necessarily have to buy the newest one, because they also just gave us this crown as well. And somebody pointed that out in stream that this actually works on a lot of the different Elizabeths. So it works on all of the Festival Elizabeths and the Spring Elizabeth, because she technically shares cosmetics with the original Fest Liz. So that's kind of interesting to note if you wanted to upgrade this one, just so that way all of these Liz's could potentially benefit from it. You definitely could, but I don't really recommend buying this this new outfit unless you just really like the way that it looks. I do like the costume for it, like the outfit piece, but I actually like going with sort of this like white and gold color scheme, because a lot of the goddess like characters and like angels and stuff use that sort of color scheme in general. So it's kind of, I like to, you know, sort of match them together. But either way, so do note that these aren't on cosmetic sale. But another thing that I would note is backliners. Backliners are something that I feel like people kind of neglect a little bit. Like, it's really easy to invest into your DPS characters or like frontline support characters, but when it comes down to it, backline characters can be something that are like really worth investing into. That's where a lot of like, I feel like the lower end of your CC sort of comes from. So if you invest into these backliners, even though they're not on the field, it will definitely increase your CC and stuff like that. Nanashi's actually still missing a weapon, which is crazy to think about. But during it was either the last cosmetic sale or the one before that, I invested into Nanashi because I actually thought he was worth investing into back then. And I don't even think he had his Holy Relic at that point. He might have just got it, but I don't remember specifically. But any backliner that you use, maybe him, Ragnarok Bon, even maybe the new Roxy. I don't really recommend you summon for the new Roxy, but if you haven't already invested into the blue one, you could definitely buy her cosmetics right now, and then they'll obviously transfer over to this new Roxy anyway. So because I already invested into the blue one, I just got to use like full maxed out cosmetics on the red one as soon as she launched, which was really, really nice. So backline characters, I think, is one that people maybe don't think about as much, but maybe you've already got all of your like main DPS characters or whatever for your actual teams set up already, and you just need to kind of invest into sort of the backliners or characters that you maybe don't think about buying cosmetics for as much. So if there's anybody that you're specifically looking at investing into, or that you think could possibly become more valuable in the future, those are obviously ones that you would want to sort of look at buying costumes for. But let me know who you're getting them for, because this is pretty much it for me. I don't really have anyone that I'm specifically wanting to buy cosmetics for at the moment. I think I'm just going to end up letting this cosmetic sale go by for me, because like I said, I've pretty much already invested into most of my good backliners. All of my festival characters are already invested into, and I don't think that there's just really anybody in specific that I use a lot that I haven't already invested into. You know, I think that's the big thing. So most of these characters I already do have cosmetics for, which I do spend money on the game and everything. But, you know, if you don't, you might be able to use this a little bit more. Just be careful. Obviously, the very last disclaimer is that there's a new festival starting as soon as this one ends in 2 weeks for us on Global, and it should be like roughly a little over a week for JP. So we'll see what that is before we get it on Global, and obviously it's probably going to be a very strong character, so probably not worth spending too many diamonds right now, just in case, because you definitely want to try to grab that character if possible. But yeah, that's my biggest sort of, I guess, note. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. It's probably going to be a little bit sparse this week as far as content goes, because obviously Roxy's not super interesting, and it's also the holidays, so hopefully you guys have a nice holiday week or weekend or whatever the case may be. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow for some more content.